Time on ChinnyVision to go back to school. Tubaruba is a 1986 game by, well, on the Amstrad CPC Advanced Software Promotions on the Sinclair Spectrum, it's by Firebird on the 199 label. Confusingly, the Amstrad CPC release was full price. The Spectrum version was a budget game. I'm unable to ascertain which version came first. Coded by a guy called Tubaruba, hopefully I got the pronunciation right there, who, according to the game code on the Amstrad version, says, "Hi, my name is Tubaruba, and I wrote this program in 1985 during the summer holidays when I was in 5th year at school. I hope you enjoy this game as it took me 3 months to write." And then he goes on to give a few more things and say also the famous Deck HN instruction that you're looking for ain't there. And I hope this isn't a pirate copy. I'm assuming when he says Deck HL instruction, people looking to remove the lives, or not lives, preserved lives. So you've got infinite lives. I assume that's a decrement instruction. As I say, the CPC version was advertised and sold as a full price game, even getting a full map in Amstrad Computer User. So let's look at this version first. The plot of the game is you are a schoolboy who's always getting into trouble and you've broken a window. And the headmaster has told you need to pay £50 to repair the window, or you will be, your end of term grade will be very, very bad indeed. And the headmaster is so confident you cannot get the £50 by the deadline, he's bet his Ferrari that you can't do it. So if you get the £50, you get the Ferrari. This doesn't seem very realistic. For a start, how does a headmaster own a Ferrari? And there's also 2 sets of artwork going around as well. There's one more basic one and then a much nicer one with the Ferrari. Well, actually, they've both got the Ferrari on it, but there's got a more sinister headmaster who's a bit younger. I don't know which came first, but you can notice on the blue one, it says Advanced ASP 001 as the code on the side of the tape. So it's Advanced Software Promotions first game, presumably. Many CPC owners will have got this free with their Amstrad CPCs. It's not an official Amsoft game, but it came with software pack, or the disc software pack 5. So quite a few, 6128 owners certainly, and possibly 464 owners got this for free. And we load up a screen here and a high score table, which goes up to 8, and you've basically got to get £10 to get on the screen there. And for reasons unknown, you get a jetpack. So it already puts one up on school days. We get no jetpacks. A tune plays all the time, and pretty much everything drains your energy, including firing, which is quite frustrating. You get a very nice exploding effect when you kill baddies or you die yourself. And you can jump through those window things. I don't think you've been playing Caves of Doom, having seen those jetpacks. Your energy does not last very long. We're up to 38 pence though, so we're heading towards our £50. I hope those aren't giant poos going up and down. I think they're flames, but there's a lot of toilets there. A lot of toilets. I don't know why firing depletes your energy. Anyone else? Oh, we got £2.48 now. Presumably this is your school and you've got to get all the bits from around the school. I'm imagining that's it. Although where the schoolboy gets the jetpack from, and they're presumably other schoolboys, juniors, I don't know. Kitchen's down there. And I have my Lambda Speak port plugged into my CPC, by the way, so it throws in a bit of speech from time to time. Mainly saying intruder alert. Although why you are an intruder in your own school, again, I don't know. But hey, it's nice to have the speech support. Intruder alert. I'm assuming Tuba had an SSA1 and just wanted to write a game that supported it, because there weren't that many. And that happens when you die. £5.28 though. That's not too bad. That's not too bad. Let's give this another go and see some of these other screens. The game is ludicrously hard. It's ludicrously hard, and it's clearly the kind of game that someone at 15 years of age would write during, say, the summer holidays. Yeah, what a better way to spend your summer holidays. You jump in the C5 and you zoom through all these screens. The game's rock hard. The design is somewhat lacking. That must be the car. That looks more like a Reliant Smitter? That's not a Ferrari. No Ferrari looks like that, if that's the car we're winning. Over the Spectrum version, it's a little bit different. As you can see, it starts off with this tune too, but also has a little speech bubble. It scrolls past with a message, and there's a little man at the top right hand side who appears to speak to you, but never actually, there's no synthesized speech or anything like that. There is constant music which you can turn off, and believe you me, you will want to turn it off. And if you thought the Amstrad version was hard, this is even harder. And it lacks a lot of the refinement of the CPC version. I saw on one website a guy claiming that in fact a guy known to the channel, claiming that the Spectrum version was vastly superior to the Amstrad version, having spent quite a lot of time with both versions. I'm afraid the Spectrum version does lack a lot of the polish of the Amstrad version. And the map layout is exactly the same, it's just so much harder. And it being harder on a game that's already so unforgiving isn't particularly useful to you either. Although I can, thanks to the RZX archive, cheat on this version, which means we can get further into the game. So there's lots and lots of screens you've seen from that CPC version map. And it does go into traditional platforms and ladders as well. When you get beneath the school, there's lots of screens beneath the school. The ladders are somewhat irrelevant when you've actually got a jetpack. And here's the head teacher's office. He's up there, the head, and there's a gun in his office. Why is there a gun in his office? That's a bit scary. Are we able to shoot him? We're able to get up there and shoot him. Oh, we can. Oh. Hard to get up there, though. Back to the CPC. And nice to be back with all the polish of the CPC version. When I first played this game, I wondered, who on earth has coded this? Are they nuts? Were they on something? But actually, a 15-year-old schoolboy coding this, I give it a lot more time. He's clearly based it around, well, perhaps his own school isn't quite as nuts as this, but it seems like a good endeavour for a summer holiday. Also hidden in the code, it says there the famous DEC HL instruction that you're looking for ain't there. Now I think, I'm not a coder, but I think DEC HL is decrement instruction, isn't it? So the one that gives you more lives, or doesn't change, drain your energy, isn't there. Now this is a bit of the game I hate. You spawn in the toilets up there, and there's always a little boy / man who's right next to you, always comes straight for you. It's very hard to escape. There's so much character in this game. It's not, I don't mean character like School Days, but School Days was a game written by an adult based on his childhood experiences. This is written by a kid who is at school at the time. There's severe slowdown when there's a lot going on the screen, and it's very confusing when you go on screens where there's sprites the same as you, because you materialise and you go, right, okay, which of these am I controlling? And it just gets very unforgiving. There's a lot of games around this period where it's just ludicrously hard. There's so many games in this period where things happen in the game, you think, if I thought that through a little bit more. I mean, what's going on here? Why is there a giant man with long hair floating towards you? It's presumably some kind of in-joke or a friend of the coder. I don't know. It's also, you accidentally go through those window things and you didn't intend to. He does like his explosion effects. In fact, the instructions make specific mention of realistic explosion effects. That's not how things explode. It's a cool effect. It's not how things explode. Back to the specky. And of course, like every game this era, when the coder runs out of ideas to what to put in the game in terms of rooms, they put in an underground section. Every game that runs out of ideas does this, and I'm afraid Tubaruba is no exception. There's caves under the school. Actually, this is the end of the game, so you've got to be very careful on here, because if you hit that door, you warp through to the garden and you die. Actually, it's one of the maintenance rooms, actually, and you die. And so we've got the money, and we now drive along in the car to all the way through the school, all the way through the walls, and we rescue, I don't know, our friends trapped under the stairs. Not really explain why all these kids are standing in a C5 under the stairs. And then when you win, you get shoved into this room here, which is basically you die, you die, you die, you die, you die. Yeah. So we have two versions of the game, released at approximately the same time by the same coder. One went out at full price, one went out at budget. Interestingly, the Amstrad version, I think it doesn't warrant the full price. I think if the Amstrad version was a budget game, it would be well remembered. It's fairly polished and quite enjoyable, but incredibly hard. It has a lot of character though, and for a 15-year-old it's very impressive, especially since he's mastered some of the technical effects you can do on the CPC, like the explosions. Spectrum version feels very basic. I'm not sure which version came first, but the Spectrum version certainly feels like a cheap Firebird game. It's exactly the same map. It's just incredibly unforgiving, and for all the presentational polish on the menu screen and the loading screen and so on, and the little VU meter that goes up and down, none of that seems to come through to the game itself, whereas on the Amstrad version you do get that polish in the game. If you have a CPC, I'd suggest checking the game out for 20 minutes or so. It's quite fun, and once you start to get a feel for how the baddies move, it becomes a lot more enjoyable, although I don't think you're going to be able to complete it without putting some multi-phase save states in. On the Spectrum, I'm afraid you could be playing Caves of Doom, you could be playing all sorts of other games that are far better than this, but it's still a game with a lot of character that deserves to be remembered more than it is.